Hey everyone, Alex here from Japanese Masters, and today we're going to go over Minna no Nihongo, Lesson 5, Part 5, that is Itsu. Okay, let's go and dive right on into this. Okay, so as we can see, Itsu is one of those words that's just a single word. It has a really quick and easy translation. It's just basically going to mean win in English. And it's going to mean win in the interrogative sense, which basically means in the question sense. So when you're wanting to ask when something is or something along those lines, that is when we're going to be using itsu. Let's go ahead and go through our breaking down of this. There's really not much to break down. It's just a single word. Like I said, it's an interrogative used to mean win. Important point here is it does not take the ni particle, because remember, a lot of time functions need to take the ni particle. However, this interrogative does not need it afterwards. The reason for why it doesn't need it is unimportant. Just remember, it does not need the ni particle. Okay, let's just go ahead and go through a couple of sentences to hopefully make this something that's easy to understand. So our first sentence is going to be, when did you arrive in the States or the United States or something? I was just trying to be a little more colloquial with that. That'd be, itsu beikoku ni tsukimashita ka? First thing I'm going to go over here is tsukimashita. That is to arrive in a place. So tsukimashita would be arrived. And then, of course, we have our ka, which is just going to be our question marking particle. Beikoku, for anyone who doesn't know, is the formal name for the United States of America. The less formal version would be America in katakana. And there is actually a more formal version. That's the full America in kanji, but that one's very seldom used. This one you'll see a lot on like government forms and stuff, beikoku. If you get like a residence card or anything, actually, when it says your nationality, they'll put beikoku on there. Okay, and then we have the main point of the sentence. That is when. And this is a perfect situation when you want to use that. You're asking the person, when did they arrive? Because this puts it, tsukimashita means they have already arrived, and you're just asking when. When did they arrive? If this was out of the sentence, it would just be beikoku ni tsukimashita. And if you took the ka out too, then it would just be I arrived in America. But by adding this question and then this interrogative, you're saying when did you arrive in America? Okay, let's go ahead and move on to the next example. The next example is, how long have you been in Korea for? Or something like, since when have you been in Korea? That would be itsu kara kankoku ni imasu ka? Now, the first thing I want to go over here is the kanji word, that is kankoku. I think I might have actually used the same word in the last lesson. That just means Korea. Then we have our itsu, which means when, but this time I'm attaching a particle to the end of it, that is kara. I think we might have covered it in a previous lesson. If not, kara means from. It's something that can mean from as far as time goes or as far as a destination goes. It can also mean because in certain sentences if it's used generally at the end of the sentence. But in this one, you're saying when from. So from when, or basically how long have you been in a location if you use that. So basically you're asking this person, you know that imasu means to exist. In this situation, when you put it like kankoku ni imasu, it means to exist in Korea or to be in Korea, to stay in Korea. So when you're combining it with this sentence, basically you're saying when from have you been in Korea, which you're basically saying from what date or from what time have you been in Korea, which kind of translates in English to how long have you been there. And the answer would be the same in both. If you ask this question, itsu kara, generally the person is going to give you an answer in a time length. Like, I've been here a month, I've been here 2 months, I've been here a couple weeks, something like that. And then, of course, we just have our ka at the end, which is our question marking particle. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to the final example. The final example is just a really simple one. It's, when is the soccer match? That would be, saka no shiai wa itsu desu ka? So we have of course, our shiai, which just means match or like game or something like that. And then we have saka, which is a loan word from English to mean soccer, or if you're from Europe, football. But, you know, America has our own version of football, so we call it soccer. So the Japanese actually took the American version of soccer, the American word, and brought it in as a loan word. They don't use the word football, they use the word saka, or soccer. And then, of course, we have our itsu, which is just when, but this is a very, very simple. This is just asking literally when is something. So the soccer match, when is it? And just the question marking particle at the end is just, making that sentence a question. And that is basically it for this lesson. It's a very, very simple lesson, but it's one that's important to understand. When you get into these situations here, the only reason that it's difficult is because it's not exactly like English. It's formatted a little bit different than English. We would say something, like, how long have you been, where the Japanese would say itsu kara. So, it's using that different way to relay the same information, and that's what can make itsu a little bit confusing. Other than that, that is the end of today's lesson. I hope it made sense. If it didn't, if you have any questions, feel free to put those in the comments below, and I'd be happy to answer them. Until next time, guys, keep studying Japanese. All right, everyone, see ya.